the start of the interview, I mentioned the folklore. And if you could just stick with me here for a little bit, I want to discuss some of those folklore, some of the urban legends, or maybe they're not urban legends. They might actually be correct, Lance. But there's some wonderful stories that float around you and about you at the golf club. And I just wanted to go through a few of these just to see fact or fiction. Lance, it's been said, you obviously talked about being a great tennis champ. You were the club championship at golf, but I understand you had a conversation one day with the club champion from the squash club. And as the conversation developed, a match was challenged and you went across to the squash club. You'd never played squash before and you beat him. Urban myth or fact?
Yeah, kicked his ass.
Hey, I also understand, I mean, you've got an incredible memory and I can tell that just early on in this interview. I understand you can look at a phone book and you can recite every name in order from a phone book. Again, urban myth or is that fact?
No, that was one of my little tricks, eh? Yeah, I used to do up to 6 to 8 packs of cards, shuffle them up, turn them over, memorise them, and then I had people's wallets, I had everything. They said, you can't do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Mrs. at the South Invitational, Mrs. Patterson. It was Brent Patterson's mother.
Right.
She said, Lance, I'd like to see a trick. So anyway, I did this trick, and so I shuffled up the pack. I said, you just take a card out and put it back. So anyway, everyone in the clubhouse is watching at the Otatara Golf Club. Anyway, so she put it back, and then I said, look, I think you've cheated. She said, what do you mean I've cheated? I said, well, you haven't put the card back, so I can't get it. And she said, yes, I have. I said, I'm sorry, Mrs. Patterson, I'm going to have to call you a liar. So anyway, I said, so she looked through the pack, and everyone said, no, she's put it back. I said, well, if everyone saw it, I'd like to challenge every person for a rum and coke. So anyway, there was about 50 people around there, and they all said yes. So they all went through it, and they said, it's not there. I said, well, I know, because I'm pretty sure she put it in a purse. So she opened up the purse, and sure enough, the card was in there, eh?
It was like a night of rum and cokes, an easy night of rum and cokes.
Yeah.
Hey, so one of those inter-club matches we were talking about earlier. Again, another urban myth or fact. You can clear this one up. But I understand you had 2 putts for a win from a very short distance, perhaps only a couple of feet. 2 putts for the win, and you asked the person, your opponent, was the putt good? And he said it wasn't. So you strolled up to it. You hit it about 20 feet the other way, strolled after it, turned around and binned the next one back from 20 foot and turned to the opponent and said, is that good?
Yeah, no, that is true, eh?
That is true.
Yeah. And I did it in Auckland at the same thing in Auckland.
Okay.
The guy, I said to him, I said, I've got a 20-footer. He had a 2-footer. And I said, 2 gimmies. And Tony Proctor said, don't, Lance. and he said, well, we've had a great game, and we come out with a half each. And he just said straight away, he said, nah, so I'm going to beat you. I said, oh, sweet then. I hold mine, and he missed his. And I said, you should have just taken the 2 gimmies. We would have had a half. But he said, nah. I was at an amateur at the Hut, and I had Colin Williams. He was a great person for Duncan Cup. He organised all the caddies, and he'd pick them all up and take all the caddies in his van. And he caddied for me this particular day, and we're in the Hut, and we saw the sorry, it was the New Zealand amateur. and Peter O'Malley won it that year. And the ball rolled into the pine needles, and we saw it go in, but you think we could find it? And Colin smoked, so he threw his lighter and all the pine needles, called it light. And anyway, here's the ball. Carried on as nothing had happened. Yeah, that was
Hey, now you've spoken about card tricks. I understand that you might do an impersonation or an impression of Donald Duck.
Have you heard of Duck sneeze? No, all right.
Oh boy. Bye-bye.
Fantastic, Lance. Good on you, mate. Your favourite hole at Paraparaumu Beach?
Oh, you're not going to believe it. My favourite hole's the 8.
Okay.
Yeah, but the hardest holes are, the 13th, the 17th, and the 5th. They're great golf holes. But at the 8th, people just, to me, because I faded the ball, it was just a short fade off the tee, and then I hit this 8, 9 or wedge every day, never went for the stick, and I just hit it to the middle of the green, never had a 10-foot, longer than a 10-foot putt. And to me, it wasn't about playing the hole, it was just pinning that thing out. I don't know, it's a great hole, and a southerly, short, but that could kill a lot of people.
Hey, so what took you away from the club?
I don't know. I've got a couple of personal things with the Wellington team, and then my brother said I've got a job over here, so yeah, because I played, I had Michael Campbell and Scarzy and Max and Tomo, and they all left that year.
Right.
And then I said to the selectors, because I played 2 and 3, and I had a good track record in the Southland, winning the Southland Invitation as well, and a couple of towers and that. And I said, number 1 now, and they said, no, you stay at 5. I said, no, I'd really like to go at 1 for the year. And they said, no, sorry. So I said, I just gave up golf. Yeah.
So you met Tracy, I understand, and you headed over, like you said. Wayne had a fishing job for you in Martinborough. Is that correct?
Yeah. Had a fishing job, and it was good. Just out of it, because my whole life I worked for Alan James as well.
Right.
And then Alan was such a good person to me. He started at 4 in the morning, finish at 11, then go, and then I went to golf every day. I practiced more than what I played.
Okay.
But Alan was good, and then I thought, it's time. When we had the tower, I'd go down a week beforehand, learn to play the course as good as I could. Went out on the fishing boats with the King Fisheries of the oyster season boats, because they were a big part of the Southland Invitation, all the big sponsors.
I know you've been, you do fishing down at Narwee, and been out there a couple of times in recent years. And whilst it's not called the Narwee Beach Golf Club, it certainly sits right on the beach. It's a stunning place to play golf. Have you played much golf at Narwee?
A couple of times. My brother's got the course record, and I'm not allowed to. I'm not allowed to play.